So this is movement and awareness. Imagine for a moment that the entire universe is conspiring in your favor.
Yes.
Every delay, every redirection, every moment of uncertainty is not an obstacle, but a blessing in disguise. Imagine that there's not a single atom, not a single breath you take, not a single step you walk that isn't being orchestrated for your highest good. Imagine behind the curtain of appearances, behind what your senses report to you, everything is working out perfectly for you, even if it doesn't look like it. Let yourself move with that. Because what we're doing really is agitating your awareness, stimulating it to move beyond what you consider to be. See, this is not mere fantasy. It's law. Actual law. This is the truth that governs your entire life, whether you recognize it or not. What you assume to be true, what you believe with conviction, becomes the life you live. So let's not go any further than that right now. Look at your life. It's yours because you have created it. You have assumed it to be true. Oh, God. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not making enough money. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't even have a boyfriend. My health. What I am assuming to be true, and I am wrapping it in conviction. The universe is paying attention to me and is saying, here it is. And it meets me everywhere because that's what I'm looking for. And that's what I'm looking through. So again, what you assume to be true, you see, you don't have to go beating doors down. You're just assuming it. And with conviction, you have that belief, it is so, that becomes your life. We are told, according to your faith, be it unto you. And faith is nothing but persistence in the assumption that something unseen is real. So every time you believe that there is something wrong with you, and you feel it with conviction, you're activating your faith. And your faith says, here it is. So you want to stop there? Or you want to maybe have a little more movement in your awareness?
Yeah.
So see, that's what I want. Okay. Watch you act as if everything always worked out for you. When you do this, everything always works out for me. You align with the law. You place yourself in harmony with the pattern of fulfillment. You place yourself in harmony with a pattern of fulfillment. You walk, you speak, and you think from what your awareness recognizes is true for you. And this is where the desired outcome has already happened, you see. You see, imagination. You're not that body. You may have been it so long that you're convinced you are, but the fact is, you're not. You are a spiritual being clothed in a physical body. And you are learning that imagination, that's a creative workshop that you go into and discover. Wow. Everything always works out for me. You see it, you recognize it, you understand, my God, it's always been there. And you elevate your awareness to you that is able to identify with it and claim it as a truth for you. So, you don't ask how. You don't look for signs. And for God's sakes, don't beg the universe. The universe doesn't buy into begging at all. You simply dwell in the feeling of certainty, in the knowing that what you call your reality, what outpictures and mirrors back to you, bends to this recognition, this simple assumption that everything always works out for me. And it's because of who I am. And that may be a big difference from who you're acting out right now. And you see, that's okay. Because it wasn't too long ago when you weren't acting out who you believe yourself to be right now. So this movement that's occurring is moving from believing to knowing, to actually making contact with who you are and knowing that everything works out for me. It always does. So to act as if everything always works out for you is movement in itself. You realize this is not delusion. This is not arrogance. This is me having my recognition of my own divine inheritance. See, some people won't even go close to that. But the fact is, it doesn't matter. Live out whoever you want. Keep believing that there's something wrong with you. Or you can let all of those versions of you go, and you open up to the realization, God, I've heard it. I've been created in the image and likeness of the Creator. Call it God, Source, Universe, whatever name you want. I am created in its image and likeness. What it uses to bring forth all the manifestations that exist, exists. in imagination. You see, everything that has appeared and is appearing started in the invisible. So, this may be a challenge to you. Good. It may be an awakening to you. Good. You may be saying, I'm not ready for it. Let's talk about this later. Good. See, the nice thing about it is you are an eternal being. Somewhere along the way, you're going to wake up to the realization, I am divine. And where I create is in imagination. And what I really do is I go into my imagination and I discover who I truly want to be. And when I see that, I feel that, I connect with that, and I recognize it is real. And that I can bring it into the world that surrounds me. So you might say that everybody is imagination. And it's true. Look at what most folks imagine for themselves. Yeah. The mess that they have in their life. And then they go about saying, I don't understand why. Or I do understand why, and he's the reason. All misreads. Absolutely, positively misreads. But that's where you are saying your faith is activated. In the belief that that's true. Notice I said belief. I didn't say no. So as we move along with this, we see that God is within you as your own wonderful imagination. When you imagine that everything is always working out for you and you feel it deeply, you are speaking the language of God. You are in essence commanding that the world take the shape in your favor, and when you do, it must obey. And the reason that it will obey is because it gets from you your conviction, your feeling, your recognition that it is so, and your complete identification with it. It's got to. Just absolutely has to. Just like if you're born with a perfectly wonderful body, and somewhere along the way, you got the conviction that there's something wrong with it, and you persisted in that, you maintain that at an unconscious level, but nevertheless a firm grip on that assumption that it's true. It's going to get you. It's going to catch up with you. And that's just because that's what you are requiring. Okay? Want to quit? Okay, you want to go on? Well, just checking, you know. Some people have burnt out already.
Bring it on.
So, we've touched upon the fact that when you make this discovery in imagination, and you know it is so, and you feel it is so, you have made a shift in who you perceive yourself to be. You have let go of a lower level you, and you have raised your rate of vibration to where who you truly are, and that which you see is so, unite. But does that mean that from henceforth you're always going to be able to maintain that? Probably not. And you see, that's where learning and growing comes into effect and mastery comes into effect. Because when everything is going well for you, it's pretty nice, pretty smooth. I mean, you could see it happening all the time. Let the shit hit the fan, and that's a different story entirely. That will challenge you to lose connection with your true nature. And doubts, uncertainty will start creeping in. And that's when you'll be given the opportunity to say, wait a minute here. Who am I in all this? Am I going to let some lesser me take this away from me that I realize is true because I saw it, I felt it, I know it? And see, this is where earth life can present opportunity after opportunity to grow. Because you can defend letting it go. You can say, oh, can't do it right now. I've got too many responsibilities. I need money to pay my mortgage. What's going on here? Everything works out for me always. So recognize that this still is a school. It hasn't lost that capacity. But what it is perhaps happening with you is that you are learning to live it from who you truly are, knowing that you always have access to the inner reality, your imagination, and go there again and again and again to see if that still exists. So you might could say you're a stuttering God right now. And it's okay. But the first part is what I want you to remember. You're God. You are made in the image and likeness of God. Now consider why you're here right now. It's a chance. Oh, you just came here to play the piano? Oh, it's a chance. Well, you didn't have anything else to do this morning. And I say to you, there's nothing but chance. Remember, everything is conspiring for you and the best of you. So, how do you get there? You get there how you got there the first time. You close your eyes and you go within. And you go into that place, that secret place. You go into that imagination that you know is within you. And you connect with what you know is true and is beginning to awaken you to the realization the only true place that exists in this whole thing is the invisible. Because that is the true realm of creation. Everything that has ever come into manifestation first visited someone in their imagination. You ever thought how a clock works? You use them just, geez, piece of cake, right? Oh, stop working? Put another battery on. But you see, the fascinating thing about everything is that it first existed in the invisible. And that's why I'm saying, let this be motion in your awareness to see I am hearing that I truly am more powerful than I have yet manifested. Okay. So, go forth from this moment, knowing that you are already on the path. Okay? You're on the path, you are. Everything is unfolding perfectly. Trust that, assume that, and act as if it cannot fail, because it cannot. Okay. You were never meant to struggle. Just in case you didn't hear that correctly, You were never meant to struggle. That's just been a choice on your part that you have repeatedly made. Okay. You were meant to align, to allow, to assume with confidence and joy. See, there's a whole world waiting you to discover. That as you wake up and you start putting these pieces together and realizing, I am a powerful being, and my source of exerting my power is in my imagination. And as I do so, I am going to be letting go of lesser versions of me that I recognize they don't do it. They get in the way. But they're always trying to come back and gain that dominance that they feel they're losing. Okay? So when you claim the feeling of already having that which you desire, the universe does bend to your conviction. You are divine imagination. That is your true identity. So treat the world as clay in your hands. Mold it with love. Mold it with certainty. Mold it with a deep, unwavering knowing that everything is always working out for you. And it will. It'll be so. It's a fact. And it's a fact for you to discover. Okay. So let this be your daily practice. Not effort, but returning to that realization. What you assume, and you assume it with conviction, that is what you are aligning with. That the universe recognizes and said, okay, you're getting it. And because you are, let's give it to you. Because you see, when you start having these experiences of it being your truth, you're just going to start feeling so damn good about who you are that it's not going to matter about what anybody else says, what struggle says, anything. You're going to say, I have seen this from who I am. I know this to be true. So you might just say this is like, why not let this be your final awakening? You're not at the mercy of fate, chance, or circumstance. You are the operative power. You're the one who molds and makes. It's all there to discover and for you to become. But do remember this. It's not going to happen with the version of you that you've had such confidence in and yet such misery through. That one's got to go. No doubt about it. So, life is not happening to you. It is happening through you, as you, for you. When you act as if everything always works out for you, you're not pretending. You're proclaiming. And let it be a strong, felt proclamation. You don't have to shout it. All you have to do is know it. And you're standing in the authority of one who knows their imagination is God and assumption is the law. That's how it all comes together. So, let the facts scream otherwise. They will. Everything will be doing its damnedest to keep its control over you instead of you finding you are the operative power in your life. Let the world call it delusion. Remain unmoved. For you have actually seen the truth. You recognize this is the truth. You have felt the power. You have touched the divine in the silence of your own consciousness. And you know with certainty that nothing is too great, too far, or too impossible. You need only assume and remain faithful. You see, that's where the challenge is with all this. Until you get to the time to where you live this all the time, it's going to be a challenge to you. Because you'll get really clear, you will know, and then, what the hell is all this? You don't want to know what all this is?
Mm-hmm.
It's your past assuming. If you think that it's all going to disappear in the twinkling of an eye, then realize if you do, that's a slow wink and eye. But the point of this is to help you realize this will keep showing up until finally what you are recognizing and knowing to be true catches up. And when it does, it's going to be because you have persisted in living it regardless of what shows up in your 3D environment. So, you've touched the divine in the silence of your own consciousness. And you know it's got to come to pass. So, okay, walk forward now. Not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. Wear the feeling of what you have recognized as true. Wear it like a second skin. Let it fit you really, really good. Let it shape your tone. Let it shape your steps, your silence. And as you do, you will watch in wonder as life bows to your knowing. And the unseen becomes seen. This is your secret. You know, you're not going to go out and convince anybody else. And I say to you, don't bother. This is about you in you. This is your power. No one else's. This is yours. And hey, act as if everything is always working out for you. Let this be how you stir yourself to remember what you know is true, because you experienced it in your own imagination, and you recognize that's where all of it exists. Where do you think God goes? Comes to here and says, oh, let me see what I need to do. You let this go. You go in there and find that everything always works out for me, and it will. It always has, just from a different you and a different awareness. So, because you have finally remembered who you are, that's the final in this right now, you see. And I hope you didn't go to sleep before getting to this, because this is what this is really all about. You're finally remembering who you are, and you're choosing to live it and let go of those other versions that have been so distracting. Thanks.